Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be talking about Grace Kelly and her old Hollywood diet. Grace Kelly was born on November 12th, 1929 and passed away on September 14th, 1982. She was an American film actress who, after starring in several significant films in the early to mid-1950s, became the Princess of Monaco by marrying Prince Rainier III in 1956. After embarking on an acting career in 1950 when she was 20, Kelly appeared in New York City theatrical productions and more than 40 episodes of live drama productions broadcast during the early 1950s, the golden age of television. From 1952 to 1956, she starred in several critically and commercially successful films, usually opposite male romantic leads 25 to 30 years older than her. In October 1953, she gained stardom for her performance in director John Ford's African-filmed adventure romance Mogambo, starring Clark Gable and Ava Gardner, which won her a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. In 1954, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in the drama The Country Girl with Bing Crosby. Other noteworthy films in which she starred in include a western called High Noon in 1952 with Gary Cooper, a romance comedy musical called High Society in 1956 with Bing Crosby, and 3 Alfred Hitchcock suspense thrillers including Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, and To Catch a Thief. Kelly retired from acting at the age of 26 to marry Rainier and began her duties as the Princess of Monaco. It is well known that Hitchcock was hoping she would appear in more of his films, which required an icy blonde lead actress, but he was unable to coax her out of retirement. Alongside Grace Kelly's regal status, she is also an incredible style icon and is known for her elegant and dainty-like figure. Grace Kelly grew up in a sport-obsessed family but rarely had time to exercise and focus on dieting instead. As for meals, she stuck to small portions of yogurt and berries and had a just say no policy for dessert. Kelly also practiced a snacking routine in which she ate oatmeal for breakfast and came to set prepared with carrot sticks, celery, dried apricots to snack if she got hungry before 11 a.m. So there is a 1982 interview with People magazine, and the princess shared her exercise routine of walking very quickly for at least an hour almost every day or occasionally going on long hikes with friends. As for what she ate, Grace admitted to having no time for crash diets because they would make her nervous and bad-tempered. She claimed to enjoy food while also trying to eat the right things. This included foods like wholemeal bread, whole rice, and avoiding sugar. Grace also confessed, "There are a lot of other things I know I should avoid, but I don't always do so." Whether Grace Kelly was in Hollywood or Monaco, Grace relied on starting her day early with a heavy bowl of oatmeal to keep her full. If she did happen to have any cravings before lunch, she would always have healthy snacks to keep her going before lunchtime, and those were carrots, celery, and dried fruit. Grace rarely ate meat or fish and kept herself hydrated by drinking plenty of water and eating water-rich foods like apples throughout the day. When it came to indulging, she was known to break her sugar ban for a cookie now and then, but she mostly relied on green tea with honey if she was craving something sweet after dinner. Grace's eating habits might sound strict to most of us, but they were actually pretty simple when you think about it. She enjoyed a well-balanced diet of delicious and nutrient-rich meals that kept her energized, whether she was in front of a film camera or a royal event. So in the interview, it is asked, "How do you stay in shape?" And Grace Kelly answers, "I walk an hour almost every day and very quickly wherever I am. Sometimes I go on a long, all-day hike with friends." The next question is, "Do you diet?" And Grace answers, "I try to avoid that as much as possible. Crash diet would make me nervous and bad-tempered. I would have to think about that all the time, and it's just another thing I don't have time for. I do enjoy good food, but try to eat correctly and the right things. I'm aware of the importance of having a well-balanced meal. We have wholemeal bread and whole rice, and I tend to avoid sugar. There are a lot of other things I know I should avoid, but I always don't do so." And another question from the interview is, "How do you feel about aging?" And Grace responds, No one likes the idea of getting older. It's a question of facing the inevitable and not getting upset about it. One doesn't feel older until you start getting aches and pains and have to curtail or adjust your activities. This hasn't happened to me yet. I'm lucky, and I'm just looking forward to what comes next. Being a grandmother would be an exciting experience. So here are some of Grace Kelly's tips for her diet and what she eats. So the first tip that I mentioned before is fill up on oatmeal. So that was kind of her way to start her day and kickstart things. And she would have a nice bowl of oatmeal, most likely with no sugar, but probably fresh fruit on top. And oatmeal is not only nutritious, but it keeps you fuller longer and gives you energy until noon. So that was kind of her go-to breakfast. And another one of Grace Kelly's tricks is snack before 11 a.m. So it was difficult to find the exact timing for Grace's morning meal, but I have a feeling that she got up quite early, especially if she was working on set. And she always brought emergency snacks with her. And this included celery sticks, carrot sticks, cut up fruit, and dried fruit. And these are kind of filler foods to keep her going throughout the day between meals. And she would always stick to whole grains whenever she could. And the next tip by Grace Kelly is drink plenty of water. So Grace seemed to favor 3 drinks throughout her startup: water, skim milk, and green tea, often with a teaspoon of honey. She removed alcohol from her diet and kept hydrated with enough H2O and water content fruits. During her detoxes, she would load up on apples and oranges for vitamin intake and hydration. And she claims that water helps keep you satisfied for longer and prevents overeating. So her tip is kind of basically fill up on fruit, fresh vegetables like celery, and drink lots of water throughout the day. And this will kind of keep you full between your next meal. And Grace Kelly also suggests to keep your meals light. So Grace was not the type to binge on an extra large cheese pizza, although sources did say she enjoyed an occasional hamburger. But Grace Kelly kept her meals light and small portioned. As she told one reporter, "I do not enjoy good food, but try to eat correctly the right things." Grace ate fish and meat only rarely, and most of her diet consisted of whole grains and vegetables. So obviously, stars like Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe had more indulgent meal plans because they both loved hot fudge sundaes, and Elizabeth Taylor definitely liked to indulge as well with fried chicken. So Grace Kelly's diet is a lot more restrained than these two, and one of her main indulgences was tea and cookies, and for the most part she was opposed to dessert temptations. And her reward at the end of a day, so her post-dinner treat most of the time, was green tea with honey instead of indulging in sweets. And at the height of Grace Kelly's fame, she was very dedicated to her body and figure, and at the height of her fame she was very mindful about food, rejecting the ideas of fad diets and choosing something sensible and that could be sustained for long periods of time instead of these quick diets to lose weight fast. So hers was more just a well-balanced diet. And for detoxing, basically Grace Kelly would indulge in lots of fruits and vegetables, and instead of just snacking on lots of carbs throughout the day, she would eat low-carb things like fruits and vegetables and celeries, and basically avoid sugar. So it was really interesting reading about Grace Kelly's diet. I kind of expected it to be the way it was. She, for some reason, when watch her on film, she just seems like a very sensible, reserved person. I just can't imagine her indulging in excessive desserts and scarfing down fried chicken. So it just seems like she just had a very sensible diet. When you think about it, it's just kind of pretty standard by the books. Lots of fruits and vegetables, low carb, stay off the sugar, drink lots of water. So her diet just seems very sensible and something that most people could do. It's not weird combinations with peanut butter and steak like Elizabeth Taylor. So I don't know, I feel like her diet is the most relatable and something that I could do versus some of the other weird diets. But it was definitely interesting to see the difference between hers and the other old Hollywood movie stars. And I'm definitely going to be doing more, so comment below whose diet you want me to do next. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would be willing to try Grace Kelly's diet and what your favorite foods are. All right, I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.